Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The moment her voice left her lips, my breath caught in my throat like shattered glass. She sat across from me at our kitchen table, her fingers tracing the rim of her cup, her eyes lowered in a strange mixture of shame and defiance. The faint hum of the refrigerator was the only sound between us as her confession settled into the air. She wanted one night a month with her ex. For a heartbeat I thought I had misheard her. My pulse hammered in my ears, my vision narrowing as if the world had shrunk to the trembling outline of her shoulders. The room felt too bright, too loud even in its silence. My heart pounded so hard I could barely breathe. I forced myself to ask her to repeat it, even though I already knew what she had said. Her voice cracked as she whispered the same words again. One night a month. My mind spun like a storm. I could not understand. I could not even begin to shape the pieces of her confession into something that resembled reason. All I could feel was the slow collapse of the world I had built around us. The world I thought she lived in with me. I stared at her hands. The hands that had once held me when I cried. The hands that had felt warm and certain when she promised me forever. Now they looked foreign to me. Restless. Guilty. Hungry for something I feared I could never compete with. I asked her why. My voice came out as a whisper. Raw. Scrape thin. She lifted her gaze and the truth in her eyes sliced through me far worse than her words. She said she loved me. She said she cared. She said she did not want to lose what we had. Yet something inside her still reached back to the past. Something unfinished. Something she had never buried. The worst part was that she seemed to think honesty made it acceptable. As if the fact that she told me softened the betrayal. As if laying her desire out in the open would change what it meant. My chest tightened as confusion and rage fought for space inside me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted to shake her and ask how she could look at me and say this. But I just sat there, staring at the woman I loved with everything in me, wondering how long I had been blind. I asked when it started. Her hesitation answered me before her words did. Little moments flickered back through my mind. Late nights with explanations that felt too shallow. That sudden change in her perfume. The new softness in her smile when she checked her phone. Subtle shifts in her voice that I once told myself were nothing. I had rationalized every sign because love can make fools of the bravest people. She admitted that she had been thinking about him for months. She insisted she had not acted on it. She swore she still loved me. She begged me to understand this one request. She said if she could have this one night, she would feel whole again. Whole. The word nearly made me laugh from the absurdity of it. She wanted to feel whole by breaking me apart. The quiet in the room thickened. A slow suffocating pressure settled around us. I felt myself slipping between two selves. One who wanted to cling to what we had. And one who knew I no longer recognized the person sitting across from me. My throat tightened as I stood. My chair scraped against the floor and she flinched as if the sound itself was an accusation. I walked toward the window, staring out at the cold night sky. A pale moon hung low, half hidden by drifting clouds. I wondered what version of our life she saw where this request made sense. She called my name, her voice trembling. She asked me to say something. Anything. I closed my eyes for a moment, letting the ache wash over me. Then I turned to her and told her the truth. If she wanted one night a month with another man, then she wanted a life without me. The words shattered her. I watched her chest rise in quick shallow breaths as panic filled her eyes. She reached for me but stopped midway, like she realized she no longer had the right. She pleaded. She cried. She swore she did not mean to hurt me. But every apology felt thin compared to the blade she had already driven into us. I told her I loved her. I told her I had given her everything. I told her that trust is not something you carve into pieces and offer on a schedule. Once broken, it is not something you can gather back into the same shape. Her face crumpled. She collapsed into the chair, covering her mouth with shaking hands. I felt a heaviness settle inside me. Not from anger but from grief. Grief for the love I had believed in. Grief for the woman I once thought she was. I walked toward the door. She whispered my name again. There was a soft plea in it. A desperate echo of what we used to be. But I did not turn back. The moment I stepped out of the house, I felt the cold air rush against my face. Stung, but it also felt clean. And for the first time that night I could breathe again. Behind me, I heard her sobs swell into the quiet. She had wanted one night a month with her past. Instead, she found herself alone with it.